My name is Gerald Hicks with X9 Scouting. I'm here with David Gardner Jr., the 1,000-yard running back. We're here at Minor High School in his locker room, in his home space, and I just have a question for him, and I'm sure you guys have a question. Tell us something about yourself. How do you get the title, the 1,000-yard running back?
Man, I got that title from working hard, working every day. Because what you put out there when everybody else not looking, then when people are looking, that's when they get to see the fruits of the labor, what you really were doing, how you were really working. Because hard work will always be talent.
Mm-hmm. So I spoke to David before the season even started, and one thing that he always said to me was, hard work will beat talent. And every time I came to his game and did an interview, he always said, hard work, hard work, hard work. Where do you learn this concept of hard work beat talent?
I've learned this concept since I was 4. Being outside, my dad working me out, and going to football practices. Because when I first started football, I didn't like it at all.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to go out with my granddad, go play golf. But golf was the first sport, I fell in love with. But then after, that first season of football, I was just, want to get back into football. And my dad always, like I just said, worked me out. And he always told me, if there's something that you want to do, we're gonna give you the best things that we can give you for you to be successful. And that's what he always done. He's always done that. So he's always instilled in me that you might not be bigger than somebody, you might not be faster, you might not be stronger, you might not be quicker. But one thing you will do, you will outwork any and everybody. And that's always been instilled in me since day one. So not only did it help me on the field, but it also helped me off the field.
See, and this is why we're sitting here with this young man, because I'm stuck at the golf part. How did we go from golf to football?
Okay, so when I was 3 years old, I loved watching Tiger Woods. My granddad didn't do nothing but watch golf. So when I would see him watching golf, I always liked Tiger Woods. And this was when Tiger Woods was like in his prime, winning Masters and PGA Tours. And my granddad used to always go to the golf course, and he had his own set of clubs. And I remember my first time going, to the golf course, I had to get my own little club or whatever from the golf course. Then 2 years later, he got me my own set of clubs. So he always, kept me up to date. But golf was the first sport I ever fell in love with.
Wow. So me, I'm out of state. I'm a Florida guy. I come here, I see Birmingham, Hoover, Fairfield, Adamsville. What's the difference? Did you play like all the kids in this area? Was it always Birmingham, or did it separate over time?
I mean, it's always Birmingham, because Adamsville is just a city inside of the city. Adamsville is just a city inside of Birmingham. But we're on the west side of Birmingham, so we have our own city, but everything falls in line with Birmingham, because Birmingham is just the general thing that everybody uses from out of state. But we have different cities within the city of Birmingham. But if you were to look on the map, of course, it's just going to say Birmingham, Alabama. It's not going to say Adamsville or Hoover,
Tell me something about your coaches that I wouldn't know, just from the outside looking in.
From the outside looking in, one thing that, that Coach Abrams always tells us, he's never going to stop loving, and he's never going to stop teaching us. Because one thing is, he's not going to stop teaching us, because he always, he knows that, everybody's not going to be perfect, but we're always going to strive and work to perfection. And he's never going to stop loving us, because even when times get hard, and even when, the score might not go your way, he's always going to love us. He's always going to be there to teach us, and, like I said, keep loving us. And Coach Holmes, our offensive coordinator, while I'm here, he's like a second dad. I love him like, he is a father, just because we built that connection over time. Because he got here my sophomore year, and I remember the first thing he told me was, he asked me, like, you a freshman going to get something? I was like, yes, sir, because he was here in the spring. He was like, man, you have a chance to be really good. But he didn't really know me at the time. He didn't know how hard I worked. He saw how hard I worked. And coming into this year, my senior, and just seeing how I pay off, man, he was extremely proud of me. Because he told me, he was like, man, I remember last year, we were sitting in my office, and you told me about all your goals, that you was going to be a 1,000-yard rush for double-digit touchdowns. He was like, man, then I was like, okay, he didn't really believe it, but then after the season, he was like, man, I'm proud of you. He said, it's crazy how hard you work. You were like one of the hardest working kids I've ever been around, because you sat here and you told me what you was going to do, and you did everything you told me you were going to do.
Wow. It got to a point in the season, I think it was the third or the fourth game, I want to say the third game, you already eclipsed 500 yards.
Yeah.
What was your mindset? Were you always, was your mind always towards, hey, I need to hit 1,000 yards this year? Or once you reached 500, it was like, okay, another 500?
I mean, really, it's always that thing in the back of your head, my stats are I'm getting to my goal. But really, I was just playing to win.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that if I could come out there and I could perform my best, and also my old line, they doing their thing, because I can't even do it, I'm my old line.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew that they're gonna give me where I need to go, and I just have to do what I do after that. I knew that if I could do that, my team would have a chance at winning, and that's gonna open things up for not only me, but also for my receivers, and also for Omar, who was the other running back, who was really, really good for me. We complement each other really well. So like I said, it's just me playing and me just trying to get my team to win. That's all it was.
All right, how are you going to take the playoff game into your next career at the next level?
I mean, the playoff game was something that, I could learn from, because playing Oxford, which was a really, really good team. They were stout, they were sound, they played disciplined football. It was like they just didn't make any mistakes on the defensive end, and they were all in content, and, hey, we have to, stop the run. That's what it was. But, I don't never, take it as a loss. I take it as learning. I never lose. I just learn.
Gotcha.
And, I take that into the next level as in, okay, everything might not go your way in the game. Just because you rush for 240 yards last week doesn't mean you're going to come back this next week and a team is about to let you run all over them like you did to the team last week. So, I have to always keep learning, but, I never take it as a loss. I take it as a learning. Because, every loss that we have, you learn from it. Even when you win, you're still learning, but especially losses, because you realize that it's a couple plays that you should have made, or a couple plays that, could have turned the game in your favor.
1,000-yard running back. We had a fun time today. I asked him a bunch of questions. This is a very strong-minded, hard-working young man. Now it's the fun part. What's your favorite candy?
My favorite candy? I don't really eat candy like I used to when I did with Skittles.
Skittles.
Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch. Okay.
That was the reason. I used to eat Skittles before my park ball games, and those I would say were my superpower.
Are you an ice cream or a cake type of guy?
I have to say cake. You can't beat that triple layer chocolate cake, the chocolate ice. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. Or that caramel cake from Eggers.
Yeah.
You can't beat that.
Let me ask you this: are you a Kobe, LeBron?
Kobe. You don't have to say that. Kobe Bryant is the greatest basketball player of all time.
All right, guys, we're gonna have to come back and edit this part out. All right.
Kobe is the greatest.
What year was you born? You in the 2000s?
I was born in 2002.
We're gonna have to come back and edit this
Kobe was the
part
greatest
out.
basketball player of all time. We can argue this down.
We're gonna have to come back and edit this part out. I don't think he saw enough Kobe film to say Kobe.
Here's the thing. Just because I wasn't born, that don't mean, I didn't never watch no rewind games on TV. I remember him being the Dwight Howard in NBA Finals when I was in the first grade. And I remember him coming back the next year in the second grade and beating Paul Pierce and those guys in the Celtics in the finals. I remember all that.
I wasn't ready for that. All right. I got maybe 2 or 3 more crazy questions. Pumas or Jordans?
Jordan.
See? They ain't right. You see these Pumas on. I got
Jordan.
the flex cushion in here. He talking about Jordan.
It's Jordan. Now there are some Pumas that do look good,
but Kobe the man, right?
Yeah, he is.
Like he got on
Yeah,
Jordan.
yeah,
Kobe
yeah.
the man.
Jordan just got a more stylish shoe, but if I go hoop, I'll put on a pair of Kobe's.
Okay. Let me ask you this: Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes?
Patrick Mahomes. I gotta go with Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes just do some things that are unbelievable on the football field. Nobody else in the NFL can run to your right, then don't even see a receiver on the left and just throw it blindly in his own target.
We just gonna pass that question. All right. Xbox or PS4?
Xbox. And I'll tell you why.
Whoa, Xbox.
Xbox. This is why. Okay, I'm gonna explain to you why. You gonna see why it makes sense. Okay. Here we go. you know, I'm getting the Xbox Series S or Series X one. But the crazy thing is, this is why I say Xbox. When I got my PlayStation 4, I got it on Christmas, and my parents got it from Sony. And when I went to go plug it up and hooked everything up, it did not work. My PlayStation 4 did not work. So we sent it back. And, you know, that was the very first model because we got it the year it came out. So 2013, you know, that's just the first model. So we sent it back, we got it back. You know, they gave me a brand new one, still didn't work. So I was like, you know what, my dad was like, no, we're not gonna deal with this PlayStation. We're gonna send it all back, get our money back, and we just gonna get the Xbox.
See guys, that's why I personally go to the store and don't order it online. And then when they send it to your home, they throw it on the porch. That's what happened with him.
So my thing is though, but there no stores have it. You just had to really order it online. I mean, I'm kind of upset that, you know, I couldn't get, you know, the Xbox because, you know, or not even the PlayStation, you get the PlayStation because you got people that want to buy it all up, like buy like 7 of them, because then they want to resell it for like $1,000, and I'm not gonna do it. People are actually buying these new PlayStation and Xbox for $1,000.
Let me ask you this: what state have the best talent? Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Texas, California. Sorry, Ohio, I didn't mean to leave you guys out.
Depends on what type of ball you're looking for. It depends on what type of ball you're looking for. In Florida, everybody talking about that Florida speed. And that's what Florida has a lot. They have a lot of speed guys. Alabama, you looking for guys that's blue collar, that's gonna work, and we gonna play physical, and we looking to hit you in the mouth for 4 quarters straight. No finesse, no, you know, I'm trying to juke this guy out. No, we playing down and dirty. We are coming to hit you in the mouth all 4 quarters. I say California is more for you, like you outside, like the outside guy, like your receivers and cornerbacks. You know, that type of, you know, more finesse game. Texas is that state that just had an all around play. So I would say it's the state that had the best players. I'd have to go with Texas.
What can we expect from you going forward into college? How are you going to take this time to prepare yourself for the next level?
Well, right now, you know, I started back working out. Took a week off, you know, to get my body back under me. And, you know, I started back working out Sunday. And I'm going to keep that consistent until, you know, because I'm always keep my recruitment open until it's the time I feel like, you know, hey, it's time for me to make that move. And when I make that move, you can, whatever college, you know, decides to take me, you know, I'm going to continue to work, and I'm probably I'm going to turn it up a notch because I don't have no choice but to turn it up. You know, you telling me that I'm 3, 4, maybe 5 years for, you know, going to the league and, you know, set myself up and set my family up for life, because all I want to do at the end of the day is retire my parents for life. You know, I don't go into work to make that happen.
Let me ask you this: one of the biggest things that we believe in is education. And I love to say, and I honestly believe in saying student athlete, scholar athlete. How are you in the classrooms?
I have A and B's. Right now I have a 3.5 GPA.
Wow. And
I have, on the ACT, I made an 18. That's my highest score, but I have a 19 super score on the ACT.
3.5. How many times did you take your SAT?
ACT, I took it 4 times.
4 times. Come on, you know it always get better.
Yeah.
But this is what we mean as far as student athlete. When I first met him and I first asked him, what are you going to do? Everything that he told me that he was going to do, he done it. In the classroom, on the field. So this is why this is our 2020 most valuable player.